There's a person in the room tonight who I'm about to use as an example in my homily, and the thing is, he doesn't know that I'm about to, and up until about 15 minutes ago, I didn't realize I was going to either, so I'd like to apologize in advance. Terry came up to me right before Mass, and he said, well, I know there isn't a St. Terry. Well, I hate to call you out, Terry, and make an example of you. We can talk after Mass. But the whole point of All Saints' Day is actually, there very well might be a St. Terry. Sainthood isn't just something that's limited to those saints that we celebrate throughout the year, the great saints, St. Jerome, St. Mark, St. Luke. Sainthood is achievable by everyone here in this room. That was one of the main focuses of Vatican II, saying that there's this universal call to holiness. Everyone is called to be holy. Everyone is called to be a saint. It's not just those who, are popes and cardinals and bishops and priests and nuns and all of that. Everyone is fundamentally called to be a saint, and everyone can become a saint. And certainly in recent years, there's been a lot more sort of just normal people who have been declared saints. In the past, it tended to be more of the martyrs, the popes, the founders of religious orders. But in recent years, we've had, like St. Therese of Lisieux's parents, who were canonized for being holy parents. We have right now Blessed Carlo Acutis, not declared a saint quite yet, but I believe he was born in 1992. He died of cancer in the early 2000s, but he was just a normal kid. He played video games, and he had a strong devotion to the Eucharist. Anyone, fundamentally, can become a saint. So there might be a St. Terry, there might be a St. Braxton, there might be a saint, whatever name you might be here today. I mean, me, St. Paul, there is a St. Paul. But if you have a name that might not be a traditional saint's name, there still might be a saint with your name up there in heaven. And that's something that we can be happy about, because we know that sainthood is achievable. When we think about All Saints' Day, today isn't for the saints. They have everything they could ever want. They're in heaven right now. They are praising Jesus. Nothing that we can do can make them happier, other than our own following of their example of following Christ, so that we might get to heaven. Celebrating the saints here on All Saints' Day and throughout the rest of the year is all about calling to mind the saints, their example, and wanting to join their company, wanting to share with their citizenship in heaven, and to dwell with the blessed, the patriarchs, the prophets, the apostles, the martyrs, and the parents, the video game players, and all of them who are up in heaven. It's about inspiring us to be united with the saints. We should want to follow their example. We should want to share in their happiness. And so when we commemorate the saints today, we're not doing so just to try to give the saints honor and happiness, because they already have that. But what we're doing is we're trying to inflame our hearts with love for the saints, inflame our hearts with the love that they had for Christ, so that we might imitate them, so that we can see not only that, it's not just popes and martyrs, but it's ordinary people too that we celebrate today, those ordinary people who followed an ordinary life and followed God's commands and have ended up in heaven. And so today we celebrate that. We long to attain their glory with a wholehearted desire, and we seek the prayers of the saints. We seek their intercession for their help, so that one day we might join them in the company of the saints, and that we might intercede for the rest of the people here below on earth, so that we might all be one in heaven.